So on this problem, we're just integrating a polynomial, but it's inside absolute values. So this expression, if it's positive, you can just drop the absolute values. If it's negative, you have to change the sign of what's inside. So we need to find out where this is positive and negative. So to do that, we first find out where it equals 0, which is if you set x plus 1 equal to 0, you get either x is 0 or x plus 1 is 0, in which case x is negative 1. So then we can do a sign chart here to see where it's positive and negative. So negative 1 and 0 are cutoffs. That's where it equals 0. And the only places that the signs of those two factors can change, x and x plus 1, is at negative 1 and 0, the zeros. So we pick a test value to see if the function's positive or negative. So we could test negative 2 in the region of numbers less than negative 1. Between 0 and negative 1, we could test negative 1/2. For numbers bigger than 0, we could test 1. So negative 2, plug that in for x, you get a negative. Plug it in for x plus 1, negative 2 plus 1, you get a negative. Negative times negative is positive. And then plug in a negative 1/2. Here for x, we get negative. Negative 1/2 plus 1, positive. Negative times positive is negative. Plug a 1 in. 1 is positive. 1 plus 1, both those are positive. So this function changes sign at negative 1 and 0. So we need to break this integral up to be the integral from negative 2 to negative 1, right there, plus integral from negative 1 to 0 here, and then plus integral from 0 to 2 is where it's ending. And so negative 2 to negative 1, that's in this range. The function is positive. So absolute value of x plus 1 is just going to be x plus 1 where that function is positive. So this is if your x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. And it'll be the negative of x plus 1 if your x times x plus 1 is less than 0. So here and here, we can just drop the absolute values. So this is x plus 1 dx. And then over here, 0 to 2, that's this region. We can also use x plus 1 dx. But for x values negative 1 to 0, that's in here. That function is negative. That's negative less than 0, so we use negative x plus 1. And then you know how to integrate each one of those. This is just x squared plus x. You just multiply them out and use power rule. So we know how to finish that one up.